Okay, I want to take you to this, and then you'll see what is happening with the mathematics of these. I should have closed this. Okay, so as you see here, down here, we have these numbers, and 6234, 3491, 331, 279, and 114.6. Okay? So now you see how this actually tells us about the whisperer, this one that puts doubts in the hearts of the people. Okay? And so let me just go to this one here. So the 19 superprimes. Now superprimes are primes that the indices also are prime. So the 19th such prime is actually 331. Okay? And as you see here, going back to our text here, you see that 331 is the number of verses that will reveal. So this 114.6 is 331st revealed verse in the Quran. Okay? So we go back to this. And this, if you concatenate 19 and 331, then you're going to get 13 times 1487. The indices of these primes are 6 and 236, which makes the total number of verses in the Quran 6,236, as though you're adding the two false verses. Okay? That's what happens. But now, this verse actually happens to be, that 331 happens to be coincident with 114.6. And see what happens with that. So, 114.6 or 1146 is the index of Composite 1365. And it is the number of revealed verses until 1998. Now let's see how chapter 19 comes in there. Okay? This number, 1365, happens to be 3 times 5 times 7 times 13. The indices of these primes happen to be 2, 3, 4, 6. But 2, 3, 4, 6 is the number of verses from the beginning of the Quran to 1998, and the index of Composite 2, 3, 4, 6 also happens to be 1998. Okay? And the 19th permutation of 2, 3, 4, 6 happens to be 6, 2, 3, 4, which is the correct number of numbered verses in the Quran. Okay? So let's go back to our literal word of God. From the evil of the whispering devil, from the one who whispers into the hearts of the people, from jinns and humans. Satan knows about this. Okay? Satan knows about this. But the correcting mechanism had been put in there by God. And God predicted, yes, there are going to be these two verses added to the Quran. Remember the function of 19? The function of 19 was, one of them was to disturb the disbelievers. That was the function, one of the functions. Okay? It agitates them. Some people say, oh, well, okay, this has 6,236 then. But immediately it rejects it by this number here. This is how the Quran is structured and how the Quran is actually, now that you read this, it actually makes more sense to you. And so you repeat this during the day. Think about these verses during the day. Say it in your heart. I seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. That's what we did today when we started this Jummah prayers. Because we were going to read the Quran, and God says that when you do that, you should seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. Because what he does, he doesn't want you to read the Quran. He doesn't want you to understand the Quran. Okay? He wants you to become dumb, deaf, and blind so you can follow him. So we go through this practice by God's grace, and as I said, now they make a lot more sense why God is telling us about this. Okay? So anyway, so if I go here, I go back to this, I go back to this and I go back to 1998, there it is. You see 1365? That's the number of revealed verses until 1998. And that's exactly what 1146 is. 1146 happens to be the index of this composite 1365. And he's telling you that it cannot be, it has to be 2, 3, 4, 6. If you put obviously 2, 3, 4, 6, then the 19th permutation of 2, 3, 4, 6 is simply 6, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then you are going to be back to this situation. And now more confirmation. 6, 2, 3, 4 minus 2, 3, 4, 6 is actually 38, 88. And Surah 38 in the Quran has 88 verses. Okay. So again, when we go through those numbers in the Quran, every one of those numbers has a mission. That no matter what kind of reasoning you bring in, you're going to fail. That the truth is going to come out. And so these mechanisms that God has put in there, the defense mechanism basically, okay, that are absolutely overwhelming, that lines up these numbers together. Okay? And even if you assume that it is like this, your assumption is the wrong assumption. And that just to disturb the disbelievers. And that just to increase the faith of the faithful. Okay? This is how God has designed the Quran. This is a literal embodiment of this mathematics. Okay. So I'm going to stop here and we finish our Jum'ah. Allah Kabir. سبحان ربي العظيم الله كبير الله كبير سبحان ربي الأعلى الله كبير الله كبير سبحان ربي الأعلى الله كبير أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله الله كبير بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله الكبير سبحان ربي العظيم الله الكبير الله الكبير سبحان ربي الأعلى الله الكبير الله سبحان ربي الأعلى الله الكبير الله الكبير بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين الله الكبير سبحان ربي العظيم الله الكبير الله الكبير سبحان ربي الأعلى الله الكبير سبحان ربي الأعلى الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا لم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل Allah can you. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. السلام عليكم.